everyone, and welcome to the daily newspaper analysis, which is brought to you by LawSikho. So today we will be discussing an editorial that has been taken from the Indian Express that talks about the shifting of a huge piece of forest exactly from the forest department to the revenue department that has taken place in the state of Chhattisgarh. So what are the repercussions of this, and what are the consequences of this happening will be discussed here. Then we have the news update and legal news for the day. So, the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change recently objected to the process of moving thousands of hectares of land from the Forest Department to the Revenue Department by the Chhattisgarh government, as the land is now labeled as undemarcated protected forest. So, with this happening, here a big chunk of the forest land will actually be not protected, that was earlier protected under the Forest Department, and now has moved to the Revenue Department. So the state government has stated that the land was notified as a forest by mistake, and thus it needs the same for non-forest purposes. Now, how much is the true thing in this, or what impact environmentally is it going to bring upon on the scenario? And of course, if we talk about the total forest cover of the country as well, is definitely something that we need to ponder upon. So, according to the Indian Forest Act 1927, the state forest departments do not have any rights unless the same has been specified with respect to forest reserve. So, here definitely an overpowering or an overshadowing of the rights might be taking place, or powers might be taking place here. And the said forest in question covers 44.21% of its geography and its recorded forest. So, definitely this is going to have a huge impact on the total forest cover of the state, which is not going to be a very good sign in the coming times. So in May 2021, the State Forest Department surveyed mistaken forest lands that had less than 200 trees per hectare, and 300 square kilometers of land was earmarked after such survey near Bastar. Now, that is why even after that, for that to be noticed, this land again, sometimes it has come out to be a different land probably, and that is why it will take a huge chunk of the forest land in the state. So the said forest is also an orange area, which means that the same has not been demarcated, and a case has been pending in Supreme Court from 2003 regarding the proper notification of whose territory the orange areas shall be. So basically, like we have a disputed property, similarly we have the orange zones or the orange areas in the forest lands as well, wherein it is basically disputed as to which kind of territory or what notification will it be given to this particular forest. Will it be a protected forest, or it will be a non-protected forest? So if at all it is under dispute since 2003, so definitely the government should have waited for the judgment to come up, and only then a particular decision should have been taken. So the Environment Ministry has stated that a visual survey is insufficient because nature of vegetation changes over time. That is definitely true. And further, once deemed a forest, it enjoys the status of the same as per the 1996 Supreme Court order. So lastly, clearing the forest land means giving back twice the amount of land for afforestation, defeating the very purpose of the state government in denotifying the area. So basically, the purpose is not being very clear as to why at all they might be doing it, because if at all they're taking a forest land and they're giving it to the revenue department, so it would mean that double or twice the amount of that land for afforestation which should be given back. And maybe, it might be the quality of trees or the kind of trees maybe they're more interested in, or something like that would be the real case over here. Now let's see, what do we have for news updates today. Colonel Abdoulaye Maiga elected as interim Prime Minister of Mali. So in Mali, the military has appointed Colonel Abdoulaye Maiga as interim prime minister after the country's civilian prime minister, Kogel Kokala Maiga, was admitted to hospital. So before this appointment, Colonel Maiga was the government spokesman and the Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization. Here is a quick geography-based question for you all. Do you know exactly which continent Mali is in, or where does Mali as a country fall? If you know, let me know in the comment section below. Secondly, rather very important news, M. Venkaiah Naidu launched a book titled A New India, Selected Writings 2014 to 19. So former Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has released a book titled A New India, Selected Writings 2014-19, a compilation of selected articles of former Union Minister and Padma Vibhushan Arjun Jaitley on his death anniversary. Thirdly, IIT Guwahati developed technique for making sugar substitute called as xylitol. So IIT Guwahati has developed xylitol from a bagasse, the waste product of sugarcane, as a time-saving technique and that reduces the traditional fermentation process to 15 hours and increases the yield of the product by around 20%, which is definitely great. Fourthly, Royal Enfield tie up with UNESCO to promote cultural heritage of India. So, in a first of its kind endeavor, UNESCO, that is, we all know the full form, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, and Royal Enfield. We all know it's very famous for its bikes and everything. So, the world's oldest motorcycle brand, it is in continuous production since 1901, have come together in a unique partnership to promote and safeguard the intangible cultural heritage of India, beginning with the Himalayas. Fifthly, Lausanne Diamond League, and here Neeraj Chopra proudly finishes first with a best throw of 18.08 meters. So Neeraj Chopra finished first at the Lausanne Diamond League after registering a best throw of 89.08 meters throw. He couldn't better this. His throw is in his second attempt, registering a distance of 85.18 meters in total as average. Now let's see what do we have for the legal updates today. Firstly, drawer liable even if details of check were filled up by some other person. Handwriting experts report cannot rebut the presumption under Section 139 of the Negotiable Instrument Act, says the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court has observed that a drawer of a check is liable even if the details of the check have been filled up by some other person. The presumption which arises on the signing of the check cannot be rebutted merely by the report of a handwriting expert. And this was held in the case of Oriental Bank of Commerce versus Prabodh Kumar Tevar. Secondly, Section 482 of the Criminal Procedure Code, petition is maintainable in exceptional cases, says the Andhra Pradesh High Court. So the High Court in a recent case held that a petition under Section 482 of the CRPC is maintainable as the court below was erroneous in passing orders under Section 451 CRPC to freeze amounts in petitioner's account which had no reasonable connection with any commission of an offence. And this was held in the case of Messrs Design Tech Systems Private Limited versus the state of Andhra Pradesh. So this was all for today. We hope you liked this session. If you did, you may like it. If you wish to download the PDF of today's session or the slides, you can download or you can be a participant in a Telegram channel. The link to this channel is there in the description box below, or you can also scan this QR code that you can see on your screens right now. Thank you so much.